screen today. So thank you for having me today to talk about this Malaysia's heritage medicinal mushroom, Taguma mushroom, and how this mushroom meets the consumers' demands and meets the COVID-19. Yes. So today we are living in a global warming, polluted, and fast-paced lifestyle era. So all of this actually impacted our life and particularly our immune health and lungs health, directly or indirectly. Unfortunately, there's an ongoing worldwide pandemic of coronavirus disease known as COVID-19. This disease was first identified back in December 2019 in Wuhan, China. But now it has been spread in the whole world, more than 188 territories and countries. And the numbers is still keep increasing, including in Malaysia. There's no known specific antiviral medication for this COVID-19, and the treatment until today is still symptomatic. The common symptoms of COVID-19 including the coughing, tiredness, and it will cause the complication including the pneumonia, severe respiratory failure, as well as the organs failure. So due to this COVID-19, people bound to be more concerned on their immune health, particularly the lung health. And it was reflected in the increased demands in the immune health supplement products. And in a recent report by the Fortune Business Insights, the immune health supplements market size was USD 16.32 billion in 2019 and is projected to reach USD 29.4 billion by 2027. Is exhibiting a compound annual growth rate of 7.4% during the forecast period. So what is immune system? So immune system actually is a complex network of intricate stages and pathways in the body, protects us against the invasion of harmful pathogens that cause diseases. And immunity is the ability of the organisms to resist any infection, disease, or invasion of pathogen. So in fact, we are exposed to pathogens every second. And the good news is our immune system never stops functioning. And there are two stages of our immune response to pathogens. And in the stage 1, known as innate immune response, is the first line defense that gives general response to any infection. The immune response cells will secrete interferons and cytokines. And both of these molecules will cause inflammation, fever, and muscle ache. And I would like to highlight here the role of interferon. Interferon actually gets its name as it interferes the viral replication in our body. So when the during the viral infection, it will interfere and stop the viral replication. COVID-19 is known to suppress the interferons, and it will evade the host organisms by mediating the interferons in our body. So it's very important to strengthen our immune response, the innate as well as the adaptive immune response. And during the innate immune response, infection can be stopped at this stage. Otherwise, the stage 2, the adaptive immune response will be triggered. Adaptive immune response is a specific response to infection, which normally starts after 6 to 8 days. And adaptive immune response is mediated by the white blood cells through the T cells and the B cells. T cells involved in the cell-mediated response, while B cells involve the antibodies production to kill the antigens. And both of these cells has memories and will remember the types of pathogens by, for example, the fungi, bacteria, or virus that invades the body. So the synergy between the innate and adaptive immune response is important. So to create a very effective and efficient immune response against any infection in the body. So there are several factors influencing the immunity, including the genetics, age, gender, lifestyle, and diet. Well, we couldn't do much on the genetics, age, and gender. So what we can do is to improve on our diet and the lifestyle. So good management of stress, uh, improving in the we do regular exercise will help to boost our immune system. So for diet, a balanced and healthy diet will be good to maintain our immune system. What we are offering you today is a Taguma mushroom, which is the heritage of Malaysia that used traditionally to boost the immune system. So the local name of Taguma mushroom is known as Cendawan Susu Harimau. It's a Malay language that direct translate into English will be Taguma mushroom. And it's the belief by the Aborigines that this mushroom is grown on the spot where the tiger milk falls to the ground when a mother is feeding her cubs. So it also known as Lao Hu Nai, which known as tiger milk in Mandarin. But tiger mushroom is not the milk of the tiger, but is a type of fungi known as Lignosus rhinoceros, and it belongs to the Polyporaceae family. So the Aborigines use Taguma mushrooms to treat more than 15 ailments, including cough, asthma, fever, and several cancers. So this is how does this Taguma mushroom looks like. So it has a tuber, stalk, and a cap. So tuber is a compacted mass of fungal mycelium with irregular shape, and it remains underground. So it contains high content of bioactive compounds with medicinal properties. The stalk will raise from the tuber under the ground, and eventually it will form a cap. So when the cap and the stalk forms, actually the bioactive compounds or the nutrients inside the tuber will be depleted. So what we want is actually in the tuber. So these are some histories about Taguma mushroom. And the history of Taguma mushroom is actually first recorded back to more than 400 years back. And it was first recorded in the diary of John Evelyn, recorded as Lac Tigridis or tiger milk. And in the year of 1879, Taguma mushroom was first recorded scientifically and known as Polyporus rhinoceros, which used a specimen from Penang Island, Malaysia. And the first attempt to cultivate this Taguma mushroom is back in 1890s by Sir Henry Nicholas Ridley. This mushroom is also listed as a mushroom with important economic value in a dictionary of the economic products of the Malay Peninsula. This mushroom is finally caught attention in the urban population back in the year of 2002 when the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, mentioned that this mushroom cured his chronic cough, plagued him for many years at his keynote session at the International Biotechnology Convention. In the year of 2018, so our R&D team successfully developed a proprietary cultivation technology of tiger mushroom, which we named as Tiger Pro. And we started the commercial cultivation since then. So what is the key properties of tiger mushroom? Tiger mushroom is known as immunomodulatory, anti-asthmatic activity, anti-inflammatory, anti-tumor, and has a very high antioxidant properties. So many researches has been conducted for these key properties. This is an overview of the recent findings of the medicinal properties of Taguma mushroom and the proposed mechanistic pathways. I would like to highlight here is that the important bioactive compounds is the 1316 beta-glucans. And the extract of beta-glucans or crude polysaccharides from the Taguma mushroom has been shown to be very effective, to have the very effective anti-inflammatory and enhance immune system. So when treated with this crude polysaccharide and the beta-glucan, the macrophage actually has more cytokines released compared to the non-treated cells. So this has shown that it could increase the cytokines and it could enhance the immune system. In another study, so during treated with beta-glucan, so when the cell is challenged, the macrophage is challenged with the lipopolysaccharides, so the molecules involved in that cause inflammatory effects has been inhibited through the upregulation of STAT3 pathways. Besides, anti-asthmatic activity is also an important properties of Taguma mushroom. In another study conducted on the rat, so it has shown that Taguma mushroom is effective to have anti-allergy and anti-asthmatic activities. So actually it inhibits the excessive production of the IgE and the interleukins 4, 5, and 13 in the rats. So it actually reduced the inflammation, airway inflammation in the rat, and as well as to suppress the excessive production of mucus in the airways. So Taguma mushroom actually is very, very precious. The wild harvest can be found in Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Papua New Guinea. But today, is the numbers of Taguma mushroom which can be collected in the wild is very scarce, and it can be only located by luck according to the aborigines, because the tubers of Taguma mushroom is actually underground and which cannot be seen until it forms the stalk and the cap. So in addition, due to the environmental pollution, there's a trade of depletion of this mushroom in the wild. But today, Nexus Wise has cultivated this mushroom, which is known as Tiger Pro. So it's a naturally cultivated wild remedy targeted to boost the immune system and the lung health. So this is a comparison table on the Tiger Pro to the wild supply. So Tiger Pro is a stable strain of species, and we confirm via the gene identification and the DNA fingerprinting. So wild supply will have a risk of adulteration with other species. The growing environment of Tiger Pro is indoor, and we cultivated it under the controlled environment. So because Taguma mushroom is a type of fungi, which is saprophytic. So there will be a risk of pollutant growing environment. So it increases also the risk of contamination with microbes and heavy metals. So for Tiger Pro, it is safe for consumption, and we are confident to say that we provide a consistent quality with the standardized cultivation technology. And for wild supply, the quality is inconsistent depending on the growing environment and the harvesting conditions. So our supply is consistent and sustainable. This is the proprietary cultivation technology of Tiger Pro. So we started the cultivation through the isolation of mother stock culture, isolation of species, and we'll develop the seeds and cultivate it into the solid substrate. After that, we'll incubate the solid substrate in the soil until the harvest of the mature tuber. Eventually, we'll turn it into the dry, fine powder. So we have several quality control steps, including the DNA fingerprinting, the polysaccharide concentration determination, beta-glucan, heavy metals, and the microbiological tests. These are the 4 key USP, unique selling point of Tiger Pro. So including the genetics, we have a stable strain of genetics, and the proprietary cultivation technology of Tiger Pro is actually mimicking the natural growing process of Ignosus rhinoceros. So we ensure the premium quality of Taguma mushroom, producing the odorless white color powder with high content of 1316 beta-glucan. So the supply is sustainable with complete traceability. This is the specifications of Tiger Pro. So it's in the fine powder with more than 80 mesh size, and is in a creamy white color without any special order, and we standardize it with more than 50% of beta-glucan. So the application of Tiger mushroom is suitable for the powder formulation, tablet, and the capsule. The recommended dosage for an adult ranges from 500 to 1000 mg per day, while for children, the dosage ranges from 200 to 500 mg per day. Okay, that's all for my sharing today. Thank you. So back to you, Angeline.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Leo. I'm confident to say that our audience has acquired new knowledge from this whole sessions. Let's just give a buffer time of 5 minutes for Dr. Leo before we start drowning him with questions. Reminder, you may just key in your questions at the Q&A columns below. Thanks for an overwhelming response. Let's get the ball rolling. In terms of, Dr. Leo, in terms of production basis, how much Tiger Pro can be produced on a monthly basis, and what is the time frame needed before harvesting?
Okay, so for this question, so for the whole production period, actually we need to wait for like 8 months to a year. So from the mother store until the spawn production, solid substrate, and the soil. However, because we have the production cycle and very stable, sustainable production, so we are producing more than half a ton per month.
Right, thank you. And also we have like questions on how do you control the microbial count since it's like grown in the soil, and also how do you make sure that there's no contaminants, and what is the best quality of soil for TMM cultivations?
Yes, actually the soil contains a high content of bacteria and fungi, and we sterilize the soil actually before the cultivation. So that's how we limit the microbial count. And as I said before, because we cultivate in the indoor and controlled environment, so we reduce and really control the environment. At the same time, the water system that we are using is also the ultrafiltration water system, which will filter all the virus and bad bacteria.
Right. And also, Dr. Liu, I guess our audience are definitely interested to really know about the differences of Tiger Pro as compared to other TMM.
Okay, so actually for Tiger Pro, as I said, we are mimicking the natural growing process of the wild Taguma mushroom. So we're producing the real tuber. So this is the tuber that we are producing. So actually it's very, very hard and it's like a stone. So it contains a high compact mass of mycelia. So when it opens up, actually is a white color mass of mycelia. I'm not sure if you can see it very properly here. So that's why we ensure that the content of the bioactive compounds is high and contains more than 50% of beta-glucan. So at the same time, I know that there are several methods for the cultivation of fungi or Taguma mushroom. So during different process, actually, the organisms actually will express different levels of bioactive compounds or different protein compounds. So we know that at this stage that we're producing the real tuber, it contains the good quality and premium quality of Tiger Pro. Okay.
I see. What about does the active compounds, will it influence the immune system's T helper cell?
Sorry, please come again.
As in, like, does the active compounds, will it get any like influence the immune system T helper cells?
Yes, definitely. So particularly like I mentioned in the presentation just now, the polysaccharides, particularly the beta-glucan. So it will actually boost the immune system through a lot of different pathways, and it will actually strengthen the innate and also the adaptive immune response towards the virus or bacterial infection. Yeah, of course, there are a lot of other bioactive compounds, and in the Tiger Pro, we identified several bioactive compounds. For example, the coumaric acid, which has a very high antioxidant properties and anti-tumor properties. So actually, high antioxidant compounds will also help to improve the immune system of the body.
Exactly. And we are also interested to know, as in like, if there are any difference in between beta-glucan from TMM itself and also those from yeast.
Actually, the yeast beta-glucan is also the 1316 beta-glucan, and I can say that it's actually the similar type of beta-glucan we can find in the Taguma mushroom as well as the yeast beta-glucan.
Dr. Leo, I think our audience can't really get you about the production part, where
Oh, okay. So every month, actually, we can produce about half a ton, production of fine powder.
And also, Dr. Leo, the most constant questions would actually be like, what is the recommended dosage for boosting immunes in children and also adults?
For adults, we are recommending at the dosage ranges from 500 to 1000 mg per kilo. 500 mg to 1000 kg. 500 to 1000 mg per day. While for kids, we are recommending the dosage from 200 to 500 mg per day.
What about if you are talking about the time frames, and also how long does it take for Tegapro to prove its efficacy?
It actually varies from individuals. So some may feel the effects after a few days of taking this Taguma mushroom or Tegapro, and some it may take like a month to 2 months time to see the effects, to see the efficacies.
Right. And also when we mentioned about safety, it's Tegapro safe for consumption by both pregnant and also lactating women.
Yeah. Traditionally, tiger mushroom is used during the lactation. Lactation stage, and they actually provides energy to the lactation woman as well as a treat for colds. And while for this pregnancy, currently there's still no human clinical trial has been conducted. However, in a study conducted in a rat, there's no abnormal in the fertility as well as defects on the on the offsprings produced. When the rat has been fed before and during the pregnancy yeah. So I would say that it's safe for consumption.
That's a very interesting studies. Anyway, I think our audience would also like to know, like, can you state the difference between wild TMM and also the cultivated TMM? Understand that it might have been already in the presentation slides before, but can you just like simplify it for us?
Okay. For the wild tiger mushroom, actually a lot already produces the cap, the stalk and the cap. Yeah, like this one. So this is the tuber. So the main or key properties with high medicinal properties is actually in the tuber itself. So what you want is actually the tuber. So in the wild harvest, normally it will come with the stalk or even the cap. So actually the contents is already depleted or starting to deplete. And at the same time, normally because it's very difficult to find a very organic or zero pollution jungle nowadays. So there's a risk of contamination with heavy metals or with added bacteria or microbes because fungi that is a saprophytic organism, and it actually will absorb anything surround them in the environment. So there's a risk of contamination as well as adulteration of other species. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. And actually back to the questions on this quality of soils and what they call this stabilities. And we would like to know, how do you control the sterility of cultivation soil?
Yeah, the sterility of cultivation soil, actually we sterilize the soil every, in our every stage of cultivation, incubation in the soil. And we maintain the moisture content in the soil for the best, Taguma mushroom cultivation. And in terms of the, mixture of soil, so I think I couldn't answer at the moment. So it remains the trade secret of our company, I would say that.
Thank you, Doctor, for your sharings. And I think we apologize that we are slightly behind our schedules, and we're afraid that we might not be able to take in more questions. Fear not, we will follow up on your questions and get back to you as soon as. Once again, thank you, Dr. Liu, for your professional sharings. And on behalf of Nexus Wise, we would like to express our appreciations to all the participants for taking time out of your busy duty to attend these sessions. I observe your excellent participations and also active discussions, so I can conclude that the purpose of the webinar has been completely accomplished. Please do contact our sales representative or reach us at the number and email address below to have a further discussion. I would like to close my remarks and officially announce the end of the webinar. Again, if you have not subscribed, follow and also like us on our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn account, please do so to keep yourself updated. Till we meet again, stay safe, take care, goodbye.